But if this phrase is just a pejorative that doesn't mean anything, and also if you're reacting, if you see what PF is doing and you're somebody who holds these beliefs and then you're clutching your pearls about it because it's offensive to you, then I think you have other problems. I mean, I don't think this, white people should be scared of being called the big N-word.
No, exactly. It's ridiculous. And I like you and Nick, and I would love to hopefully
sure.
get you guys in the same room one day and hang out, you know, on or off camera, but just
Yeah.
even off camera would be totally fine just to get you guys. Because I think
I'm
you guys
friendly with
have
anybody,
like a lot of the same goals, and I think you'd end up getting along fine.
And, you know, there's a benefit to people doing different things in different ways, right? There's a benefit in having different strategies and different tactics ongoing. But, you know, we should be able to learn from one another. But anyways, yeah. That's
Just like me and you, we don't have the exact same goals, but
No.
we have some things we share, and we can realize that, oh, we can be useful to each other and still be friends without having 100% identical views.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so building on the actual Nazis
Actual
question, we
As
have
opposed to the
here,
fake ones.
ask him if he is a National Socialist and make him answer. Please.
Make him.
He says,
you have
"Please,
to answer.
thank
I'm a
you,
fighter. You have
and I
to
will
answer.
be
Headlock
listening.
incoming.
I will be listening," says Pink Wrinkle.
Well, Mr. Pink Wrinkle. So I feel like I've answered this question in a talking head video, but I don't personally claim the label. I feel like people stumble over political labels in a lot. Am I a nationalist? Yes. You know, am I a capital S socialist? I wouldn't necessarily know about that. I'm not that into economics. But I do believe that the interest of the people, that the people should be able to control the economy, lest the economy control the people. If that makes me a socialist, you be the judge of that. But I think there's a lot of different people who have a lot of different ideas on what a national socialist is. And I personally have chosen not to step into the arena of that particular battle and have my own definition, which I am fighting to make the standard. Patriot Front is a nationalist organization. We pursue the interest of our people. And we claimed it. We have a national ideology where we are fighting for the interest of our people as a native-grown political ideal, right? I think a lot of people that claim that label in the United States have, you know, at least in recent years I've seen they have an anti-American disposition where the fact that America fought in World War II is almost like the version of original sin, where because of that we need to sublimate our national identity and feel shame for being Americans because of how bad things are or how the United States, you know, has contributed to the current neoliberal global order. But I feel like that's very unproductive. That's hating yourself for being American because of these things is just another form of white guilt to me. And I think we need to realize the strength and the power of our heritage. And America it's a great power. We have our own narrative. You know, people, I think we'll get to it later, but, you know, we have our own narrative. We have our own story to tell. You know, and I think that sums up my answer. So it depends on your definition, but I don't personally claim the label because a lot of people have their own definitions, and I've chosen not to engage in that.
Yeah, they've made it such like a negative thing, and the reality is there's some good things, some bad things. So to take on this label, all of his ideas would be stupid. We could look back and you could dissect through what he does. But this is good, this is bad, this is good. So to be retarded, this is a different country, different time period. A national socialist, it's like we're Americans.
Well, and it should be clear that nothing that I say, PF doesn't believe in optics. I don't believe in the word optics. I never use it. I never say PF has good optics, they say. I think people are silly that say that. I believe everything I say, and I say everything that I believe. So there's no question. I think people online make a lot of mistakes, and they say, oh, actually, everybody secretly believes with me and thinks exactly like I do, but if they say anything different, it's because they're too scared to say what they really think, which is, of course, that everybody agrees with me. I think it's extremely reductive and an extremely convenient argument. So I hope that answers the question. I'm sure we'll come back around to that.
There's one. Technically, this isn't a question; it's a statement.
It's a statement.
But it says, "Rico charge honeypot," and I should also note it's said by a guy. His name is Please Be Nice to Me.
Okay. Well,
It's kind of hard if you ask a question like that and then be nice to you.
I'm going to be nice to you when I say this. So RICO charge honeypot, question mark, presumably question mark. So RICO is a very overly used law. The predicate offenses for RICO are like mafia type things like kidnapping, extortion money, counterfeiting currency. And it goes without saying that PF doesn't do any of these things at all. Not even close. Not even close to a thing that is close to it. So, in order for RICO charges, and again, also, it's been said that PF, because we're a group, because we call ourselves a group, even though the group is not a legal entity, it's not a corporation, you know, you don't get a W-2 when you join the organization, that if one person does something bad, then they can then jail everybody. That's not how it works, and that's not even how RICO works. The principle of RICO, if you actually look into the history of it, it's a measure to tackle organized crime, and the idea is if you were a member of the mafia, and you gave a guy a gun, and then he went to kill somebody with that gun, then you could also be charged as an accomplice to that murder, even if you didn't know what the second guy was going to do with it.
Wow.
You just gave him one, and you didn't know what he was going to do with it, but you can still be charged because you're a member of the same organization.
Yeah.
But that guy still gave him a gun, right? So within the scope of the law, there still actually has to be something more in contributing to a particular crime, and again, it has to be a fairly serious crime, than just being affiliated with a certain political standpoint. And again, RICO is very rarely used because it is a very hard thing to prove in court. It is a tool, and it's really tough. They tried it against Trump, actually. So if you're saying that PF is going to do these things and you're going to get RICO'd, well, you could say the same thing about Trump if you're a Trump supporter, or if you're a Trump opponent. But anyways, yeah, RICO is overbroad. It's used as a boogeyman, and it shouldn't be. Obviously, I care very much about legality. I care so much about the safety and the security and the longevity and the prosperity of the membership. You have no idea. I care about that so much more than literally anybody else on the planet. But I also care about the state of the country. I also care about taking the men that are willing to fight for these things and putting them to the jobs that they need to do in order to push the country in the right direction. So, RICO honeypot, no. And again, if it was a honeypot, Fed honeypots don't last 7 years.
I would like to add, you also have strict rules like the guns and stuff, which could be a little annoying, but members can't go shooting together, stuff like that, correct?
Can't sell each other guns, yeah.